All right, here we are. The Detroit Red Wings kept their playoff dreams alive yesterday in a pretty stellar victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. 4-3 overtime mark, even, dead split down the middle game, scoring chances were tight, goals were coming from the guys that we may or may not have expected. Tyler Mott, shout out to him. Gage Gonsalves, 2 goals. And then Marco Kasper, another 2 goals. Patty Kane, shout out to him for getting the assists that he did and helping out. How many fantasy teams do I have him on? I think 2 or 3, something like that. It's finals week, so obviously balls are to the wall here and everybody is getting added and moved around. Anyways, today we are diving into the Red Wings and one of the biggest stories that will be helping them out in the final few games here of the NHL regular season. And that's not even all too accurate, honestly. NHL regular season might not be the right way to describe this, but this is huge for the Detroit Red Wings because if we head over to this article published on aftonbladet.se, one of the primary Swedish hockey news outlets that exists over there in Europe, Hans Abrahamsson and Jonathan Pinheiro Diamond published this piece talking about Axel Sandin Pellikka and how he's heading over to North America. Now, the article's title and even the names of the guys who wrote the piece, I think it's kind of translated improperly. Is his last name really Diamond? Oh yeah, it is, it seems like. Demont. Ah, that's great. But if we scroll over to what this article says, it talks about how Skellefteå AIK has just been eliminated from the SHL Championship. Thus, Axel Sandin leaves Pellikka and ends the season in Detroit's organization. I will go over eventually, says Sandin Pellikka. And yeah, you can see the way that the article is translated. Thus, Axel Sandin leaves Pellikka. Should probably say Axel Sandin Pellikka is leaving Skellefteå and ending the season in Detroit. Also included is a video of Axel Sandin Pellikka's post-game, post-season interview, and you can see there is quite literally some tears in his eyes. He is watering up there. Very emotional after the loss today for Skellefteå AIK. Just in case you needed the update as to what happened over there, well, let's go over the game tape, shall we? Axel Sandin Pellikka and Skellefteå ended up losing 4-1 in their second round SHL Playoff series, and Axel Sandin Pellikka in the series scored himself 4 points in the 5 games. Game number 5 was earlier this morning, and they ended up losing 4-1. So, unfortunate 4-1 loss in the series, unfortunate 4-1 loss in game number 5. It just seems like Brynäs IF had Skellefteå's number in this one. They had a 5-1 win, though, in Game 3. Axel Sandin Pellikka, for some reason, didn't score any points in that one. He got all the points that he had in the other series and in the losses. But either way, Axel Sandin Pellikka still played 23 minutes, 20 minutes, 24 minutes even in these tight playoff games. So we know that he was a very relied upon D-man. He was a number 1. And with him doing and breaking all the records that he had, I mean, it was a pretty notable season for Axel Sandin Pellikka, coming over after getting drafted in Detroit in the 2023 draft. Let's scroll down and read some more in this article on sportbladet.se. He has just turned 20, but ASP has already accomplished a lot in his hockey career. Named the JVM's best defenseman 2 years in a row, and a year ago he won the Swedish Championship gold medal with Skellefteå. Last year he also won the Börje Salming Trophy as the SHL's best D-man. After Brynäs went to the 5th semifinal game, a new adventure awaits the skilled D-man. He'll head over to North America to finish the season in the Detroit organization, the club that drafted the Swede in the first round 2 years ago. After the withdrawal from the SHL Championship Playoffs, Sandin Pellikka was depressed as he confirmed that he will leave Sweden. I will go over eventually, but I don't know when, says ASP. Are you going over this season? So, he is coming. It's just we don't know when he is coming just yet. I guess he has to take a little bit of time to decompress and just allow himself to recover mentally from everything that happened today and his team getting eliminated. Of course, though, the Wings, they probably don't have much time to wait for Axel Sandin Pellikka, but that's if you're talking about the Red Wings themselves. They got a game Monday, they got a game on Wednesday, so they would probably hope that ASP comes soon if they do wish to use him in their playoff hunt. I mean, back-to-back against New Jersey and Toronto next week, right? So we'll see whether or not ASP suits up for one or both of those games. The Grand Rapids Griffins, though, playoff caliber team in the AHL. That's going to be pretty good to see Sandin Pellikka get penciled down and get added to that crazy team. But I know what you're thinking as well. You're thinking, hey, ASP from Skellefteå AIK, is that not a team that houses another Red Wings prospect that we care about? And yes, that is correct. Michael Brandsegg-Nygård, another first-round pick taken by the Red Wings last year in the NHL Draft, happens to be on the team too. This is what this article goes out there and says about Brandsegg-Nygård. Sandin Pellikka is not the only one leaving Skellefteå soon. Forward talent Michael Brandsegg-Nygård has been drafted by Detroit as well, and the Norwegian will also be hired soon. It's as soon as possible, actually. I'm a little unsure, Brandsegg-Nygård said. Brynäs IF won the final game 4-1 and won the semifinal with a total of 4-1 in games. So Brandsegg-Nygård seems like he's going to be heading over as well, but he's saying he doesn't really know. He's a little unsure. Soon as possible, but he's unsure when exactly. So doesn't really seem like there is the same kind of recovery period needed here for Brandsegg-Nygård. I think for ASP, it's like, hey, the guy won the championship last year, high expectations this year, he's a better player this year, and to lose in the semis like they did, unfortunate for sure. But Axel Sandin Pellikka confirming that he's going to head over to North America. Not necessarily the Red Wings, but either the Griffins or the Red Wings. Both of these teams are options here for the young Swede, and I guess for the young Norwegian as well. I'm not going to say Michael Brandsegg-Nygård is as ready as Axel Sandin Pellikka is to play NHL minutes. Probably AHL is good enough for him at this stage. There's no reason to not take your patience with this guy, especially when you consider, hey, Axel Sandin Pellikka already spent a full year in Skellefteå before this season. Michael Brandsegg-Nygård was drafted, and then it's like, okay, here, you're now on the Skellefteå AIK. So an extra year is not going to hurt, but we'll see what happens as the days go on. There also was a post made on Twitter. This was posted by Rasmus Kagstrom and translated by Red Wings prospects. Axel Sandin Pellikka will travel to the USA and Detroit in the next few days. The plan is for him to join the AHL team in Grand Rapids, agent Claes Elefak confirms to Fork Bladet. Ah, okay, there you go. So Grand Rapids seems to be the destination here. But, of course, it's in the next few days. The Wings don't have themselves too many games to end off the season. Maybe if their idea is, instead of playing Axel Sandin Pellikka in the NHL, give him a few final super important games to try and contend for the playoffs, which is, of course, going to be very unlikely, considering the Canadiens have a 99% chance of making it in that final spot. They would rather just send him down and have him in the AHL cooking with the playoff team over there. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Axel Sandin Pellikka and the Skellefteå AIK elimination in the Stanley Cup SHL playoffs this year. What are your thoughts on ASP heading over to North America? Let me know in the comment section all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.